So I'm using Gingy because he's cute to look at, and I don't feel like making a video of my actual face right now. But anyway, I've seen some weird videos on TikTok about PCOS. I saw one that was a transgender woman talking about having PCOS, and I just wanted to clear that up because that's not accurate. If you are a transgender woman, that means you were born male, so you are a genetic male, and you may identify as a woman and undergo surgery or just live your life as a woman. But you being hairy is not PCOS. That is a condition that is specific to females. So people that are born female who either have like excessive facial hair growth or anovulatory cycles, irregular periods, and like cysts on their ovaries, that's what PCOS is, or at least those are the criteria that clinicians use to diagnose it clinically. But there's more to it than that. PCOS is not just about having cysts on your ovaries, because you can have PCOS even if you don't have cysts on your ovaries. You can also just be a hairy person because that's just how you are genetically. It's society that makes people think that women are not supposed to have hair on their faces, women are supposed to look a certain way, and so when we have facial hair, we feel less feminine, and it's really like a societal thing. It's not like there's like a real genetic basis, like typically, because like hairiness also differs depending on somebody's like background. So certain ethnic groups have more body hair, and that's just natural and normal for them. So what's considered quote unquote normal really varies. But also I've seen some content that I think was really great where women with PCOS are really open about it and showing it and talking about it. And I think it's something that needs to be studied more and something that needs to be normalized, because a lot of women feel they feel just like embarrassed about it or ashamed about it, and I don't think that's the way that we should feel. Like that's why I make my own content about my journey with having excessive facial hair and getting it removed, because I personally just don't like it. And there are some women that even embrace it and they grow a full beard, and that's just the way that they are. So yeah, yeah. Okay. Also, one more thing I wanted to say was that it also has a lot to do with your metabolism, and it's not just about hormones. It also has to do with insulin resistance. So if you're somebody that has insulin resistance, even if you don't have a diagnosis of diabetes, that could be something that's affecting having excessive facial hair. So in my family, my dad has diabetes, and I have pre-diabetes. Like I control it. Like the last time I checked my own A1C, it was 5.6, and that's normal, but that's at the high end of normal. And my A1C before has been 5.7 and even 5.8, so that's pre-diabetes. So even though I exercise and I eat really healthy and like I'm a normal weight, like I still have excessive facial hair, I still have PCOS, and not everyone is going to present the same way. So I think a lot of people have this misconception that if you have PCOS, you're like overweight, or it's something that only affects overweight women, and that is also not true. So if you have excessive facial hair and you don't like it, you should ask your doctor to do a workup for you. So that includes labs looking at your hormones, which I've done before, and like my testosterone is normal, my estrogen is normal. I did have a slightly elevated prolactin, and I had cysts on my ovaries, but there weren't enough cysts for them to classify it as PCOS. So even though my hormones, like my testosterone is not high, I still have excessive facial hair, and that can happen. And I think insulin resistance has to do with that as well. So exercising, eating healthy, avoiding like sugar and highly processed foods and refined grains and carbohydrates and things like that, and even sleeping is really important to controlling it. If you don't sleep well, it causes hyperglycemia. So even if you don't have like diabetes in your family, if you don't sleep well, if you don't regulate your stress, like that also affects your hormones and even insulin resistance.